our little On the Road series is continuing. This is Bill Herman. This is Creative License. Thank you for being a part of the show, and thank you for being nice to my sponsors. If you've been watching, you know Electro-Voice speakers, Electro-Voice microphones, Electro-Voice. They're a great sponsor. I appreciate them. I'd love it if you checked out their products if you haven't already. And of course, my workshop, Entertainment Experience, you can find it at entertainment-experience.com. So with this On the Road series, we were driving through Iowa, and in Iowa there's a lot of those wind farms, those tall wind turbines with huge blades, and they're scattered throughout the farms in Iowa. There's lots of them there. I know there's lots of them everywhere, but those are the ones I see. And it occurred to me a story that I know about my wife's dad's cousin. He's an engineer. He lives, kind of like a technical hoarder. He lives, in a weird. He makes really good money, but he lives in this little shack in the woods, and he collects things like jet engines, okay, or in his barn he's got a drill press with a drill press bit on it that's like this big around. It's like, I don't know what kind of hole he's drilling with a drill press like that, but he's got stuff like that everywhere. Anyway, he has been involved with the turbines, with those wind turbines that are collecting energy on the farms around the world. And back in the day when they were first starting out, Japan had taken it on in a big way. And one day he got a call to come and fix one because they didn't have an engineer anywhere they could find in Japan to figure out what was wrong with it. And they knew that he had worked on them, so they called him. And he's living in Minnesota. And he said, yeah, I'll come, but it'll cost you, it was like $1.5 million, I think is what he asked. And they were like, yeah, whatever, just come on over. So they paid for his trip to Japan. They paid him $1.5 million in advance. And he gets there, and he shows up with a tool belt, and he goes inside, and he goes up the thing all by himself. He came down 10 minutes later, and it was fixed. That's it. 10 minutes later. The Japanese people were excited and a little incredulous because they just paid this guy $1.5 million. They flew him all the way to Japan, and it took him all of 10 minutes to do the job. And they're like, why are we paying you so much money? It didn't take you any time at all. I mean, what's the big deal? Why? I don't get. This should pay us. I should be able to pay you less. And he just looked at them and he said, did you know how to do it? They said, no. He says, do you know what tool I used? And they said, no. He says, took out the tool. And he says, that tool? That's all you had to use was that tool? He says, well, it wasn't the tool that I used. It was the knowledge I brought to be able to use it. It ain't what you do, it's how you do it. Thanks, Mark Farrell, when the work that he does in the DJ industry, that's what he says with Marbecca method. But that's not a thing that people haven't been saying their whole entire life. The thing that's keeping you back as a DJ or a photographer or any kind of vendor in the wedding business is you think you do a thing. You're charging them for a thing you do. You're not. You're charging them for the result and how you get to that result. Just like my wife's father's cousin. Anyway, that's what I got for you today. This is Creative License, and I'll see you next week. Bye.